Ding 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 ding. Aloha. Welcome back to the Real Trash Podcast again. Oh my goodness. We are back together on another Real Trash Podcast. Welcome. If you are new to my channel and watching for the first time on my Real Trash Podcast, welcome. You are welcome to my channel. And I am going to start off with a little introduction of my Real Trash Podcast. And hi, my name is Noah James Markham. Aloha. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Real Trash Podcast, where we talk about trashy subjects from Disney news to politics. That's the big one I like to talk about on my channel. So if you're not a very good politic person, then, this might not be a channel. But I do talk about other things like Disney news, and I talk about celebrity news when it's time when I want to talk about celebrity news and trashy subjects like that. And also, I talk about my daily life and how my week has been through the week. And so, yeah, it is the Real Trash Podcast. And I just thought about this episode that every episode, since I call it the Real Trash Podcast, I say we should just trash away what episode we should do. But I think that we should throw away the trash to every episode every week, because every episode is trash and we are on the Real Trash Podcast. So we need to throw it away so we can start on a new week, on a new episode. And I think I'm going to start doing that starting on this episode. and and then the first thing I always talk about on my podcast is disability. And hi, my name is Noah James. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. Yes, we like to talk about this subject. The most important subject on my channel is disability. And it might be trashy. Some days it might be better. But I want to say this is who I am. And not everybody is like this shiny and sparkly with the disability. So I think it's in anywhere. You can take it negatively or you can take it positively. And yeah, so yes. And yeah, so the disabilities I have. In 1998, my mom had a C-section with me. Yes, and she had a C-section, and yeah, I was diagnosed in 1998 with hard of hearing, a hearing loss, and so I have to use hearing aids to hear a little better. That's an accommodation I have for my ears so I can hear like everybody else. Also, I'm on the autistic spectrum. That is more. I can't really tell what it is, but yeah, it's there. I guess I was diagnosed in 2014. And then I have intellectual disability. So I might have learning disability. So I might have to learn a little differently in the classroom. So it might have to have different accommodation in the classroom to the testing area. So yeah. So welcome. And I'm so excited to be with you guys on another episode this week. And oh my goodness, I cannot believe we made it to another episode. Whew, it's been pretty hectic for the new year. As you can see, there's been a lot of news going around right now. And yeah, so this episode is for the week of January the 5th through the 11th, or 6th through the 11th, I think, one of those, yeah, or the 12th. So, yeah, so welcome to the Real Trash Podcast, and we welcome everybody on my podcast too. Gay, straight, bi, transgender, you are all welcome into my space. I want you to know that everybody is welcome here on this podcast. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today, and it's been around the news a lot lately, and it's so devastating. It really is a devastating. It's devastating news to hear. And if you heard about it, it is the California wildfires. and I'm going to read a little description of what we know about the California wildfires. Two devastating wind-fed fires have killed at least 16 people and swept through 37,000 acres in the greater Los Angeles area, destroying entire communities and more than 12,000 structures. Crews are also making progress on containing two smaller fires in the region. At least 13 people are missing. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna said today it's unclear if the missing persons report are related to the fires, he said. Evacuation orders for the largest blaze, the Palisades fire, have expanded and sweeps east and threatens Brentwood and Encino. It is 11% contained. At least 153,000 LA residents were under evacuation orders overnight. A map of the evacuation. Oh, there. Governor Gavin Newsom called for an independent investigation into the loss of water pressure to local fire hydrants and the reported availability of water supplies from the Santa Ynez Reservoir. And that is a big topic right now too, because I guess they ran out of water and they were trying to get as much water in the fire hydrants, but they didn't have enough water to spray out. So they're trying to figure out what happened. So I can see why he has an investigation over that. Los Angeles County declared a public health emergency, warning that smoke and particulate matter could pose immediate and long-term threats. Wow, so that is the update on the wildfires and in LA, and we give thoughts and prayers. And please, if you can donate, if you find somewhere to donate to these people, the wildfires in Los Angeles, please go donate to them. Whatever you can do, a little portion, $1 is enough to support. If you can volunteer, I don't know if there's any volunteering you can do over there. That would be awesome too. So yeah, so thoughts and prayers to everybody in LA. I hope that everybody is safe. I know, unfortunately, we had people that died. As you can see, people died from the fire. And I'm so sorry for your loss if you have lost somebody through the fire of the LA fire. And hopefully, because what did you say? When people say that climate change is not real, it is real. And as you can see, the fire came in the middle of winter. And so, yeah, so I know everything's changing nowadays. And thoughts and prayers to everybody in LA. And yeah, hope you guys are staying safe out there. So, let's get into Arizona news. Today, we are going to be talking about, y'all. Today, we're going to be talking about this. Yeah. Arizona, where I live, okay? I said, I don't trust, because we're so purple and this state is so wishy-washy. We're a purple state. We're not a red state. We're not a blue state, but we're a purple state. And I hopefully it goes blue now most of the time instead of being red. But yeah, so we just elected a new senator into our into office this year, Ruben Gallego. And I already had a feeling, because I was actually trying to get Kamala Harris in, but I had a feeling about her too. I didn't have the sense that she was going to win, but I still did whatever I could do. And yeah, so I think Joe Biden could have won better. Joe Biden said that in an article. Maybe I should talk about that article too. Let me find it actually. Let me see if I can find it. Joe Biden. Let's see. Yeah, this is a good article. Okay, so now we're gonna get into Ruben Gallego because this is a bill that he just introduced. So Republicans on Capitol Hill are getting closer to passing their first big ticket immigration bill of the new Congress. And this is the this is now let's read this again. Republicans on Capitol Hill are getting closer to passing their first big ticket immigration bill of the new Congress. The Laken Riley Act is named for a woman from Georgia who was killed last year by an immigrant living in the U.S. illegally. The bill would force federal agents to detain unauthorized immigrants accused of theft. It would also allow states to sue the federal government over immigration disputes. The bill has already passed in the House with bipartisan support and is getting support from both Democrats and Republicans in the Senate. Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego from Arizona co-sponsored the bill. In Arizona, people wanted us to reach across the aisle and work in a bipartisan manner for real solution when it comes to immigration. Border security, Gallego says. At the end of the day, it is a good end product. Then I think a lot of us will vote for it. So that's you know I knew there was something wrong with Ruben Gallego already. That you don't have to always you can talk to them, but you don't have to reach over and vote for the bill. That's just crossing too much of the line, and I don't believe that you should have voted for them. And there wasn't just one person that voted for this bill. There were some people in Congress, and there were some people in the Senate that voted for this bill. The two senators voted for this bill, not just Ruben Gallego. But Ruben Gallego just got into office, and he already making and stirring things up. And so that is not a good Democrat to me, because that that just doesn't show that you have it just shows you don't have the strength. You don't have the strength. And I just and that I had the feeling that Ruben Gallego wasn't gonna be the best. So we'll see what else happens. But right now, that bill, I would not vote for that bill in favor. No way. And it's a Republican bill, no. And so let's talk about this one too. President Joe Biden believes that he could have won the 2024 election, and I believe strongly that he could have won the 2024 election too. But people wanted him out. Nancy Pelosi wanted him out, but she never said nothing. Kamala Harris, no, there's a few of them that not saying anything, but I know they wanted him out. And there's people that wanted him out. And I look at those people like, y'all were wrong because you don't know anything. Only President Biden knew what would have happened. And everybody wants to assume something that, oh my God, President Biden wouldn't have won because he had a bad debate. And so the numbers are, I don't believe in polling. If you do, I don't know if you do believe in polling, but sometimes polling doesn't, show accurate. And sometimes so I don't believe it until election day in November. But Donald Trump won, and people said Kamala was going to win. And now I made people are making this, because she didn't have enough time, and da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da. No, don't make that excuse that she didn't have enough time. Kamala had a lot of time. Kamala had a lot of money, and she had a lot of money, and, she lost. So, that's the point. But let's read this article. So President Joe Biden believes he could have won the 2024 election if he had decided to stay in the race. He told US Today in a wide-ranging interview. It's presumptuous to say that, but I think yes. He told the newspaper during a nearly hour-long interview on Sunday. He said his view was based on polling he's seen. The president's comments come as he prepares to hand over the Oval Office to President-elect Donald Trump, who defeated Vice President Kamala Harris in November. Biden, the oldest sitting president as 82, withdrew from the race in July as questioned about his age and fitness for office surged following a disastrous CNN debate performance in June, which I don't see the disastrous debate. Biden also told US Today on Sunday that he was unsure if he would have had the vigor to serve another 4 years in office. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Biden said. That sounds like Biden. Who the hell knows? Biden said, though he also added that when he first decided to run, he also wasn't looking to be president when I was 85 years old or 86 years old. He didn't even want to run for president. He was good with vice president. He didn't want to run for president. He didn't want to run for president, but he had to run for president because of this man, the convicted felon, Donald Trump. So he wanted to save America, but I guess people didn't have the guts and didn't want Biden to run again. And so now those people that didn't want Biden to win, look who's in office now, Donald Trump. Biden, who pardoned his son Hunter in December, said he has not decided whether to issue more presumptive pardons for potential Trump targets before leaving office in less than 2 weeks. When Biden and Trump met in the Oval Office after the election, Biden urged Trump not to follow through on his threats to target his opponent. I tried to make clear that there was no need, and it was counterintuitive for his interests to go back and try to settle scores, Biden said, adding that Trump listened but did not say what he planned to do. Yeah. If there were to be more primitive pardons, Biden said the decision would be based a little bit on whom Trump tasked for top administration roles. So yeah. So really, let me see. Maybe we should read the rest of this. Trump frequently attacks Biden handling of the economy, including on Tuesday when he was asked about grocery prices during a press conference at his Mar-a-Lago resort. But in private, Biden said Trump was complimentary of some of his action. He was very complimentary about some of the economic things I had done, Biden said, and he talked about he thought I was leaving with a good record. Biden also reflected on his relationship with former President Jimmy Carter. And that was very, I saw that too this week too. President Jimmy Carter's funeral was just so touching. He was 100 years old. I still remember that day when I had this project I had to do in fourth grade, I think it was fifth grade. And we had to, our teacher picked each student to be somebody inspirational to the world. And I was lucky to be able to be President Jimmy Carter. And then people would come around. There was during the day, and people would come around and look at a whole poster of Jimmy Carter. I had a whole thing I had to do with Jimmy Carter. I was President Jimmy Carter at that time, the Peanut Man, and I had to talk all about his presidency. And so that was really cool. And so he lived 100 years old, and that's even better. And he stayed with his faith. And that's just amazing for 100. And he still had that little smile on his face all the time. And so we will sincerely miss Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, but I will always remember him. And the family, so sorry for your loss, but I will remember your family, I will remember your dad, and I will remember the mother. She was another, always had a smile just like her. It was him. They both had smiles, and so it was just great relationship they had. So Biden also reflected on his relationship. So let's go back into what I'm talking. Back to the story where we're talking about. Biden also reflected on his relationship with former President Jimmy Carter and his visit with Carter in Georgia in 2021 as he prepares to deliver the eulogy at Carter's state funeral in Washington on Thursday. And that was so good. Biden's eulogy was so good. It was what I would expect from President Biden. Strong spoken, yeah, it was just really good. And when I was looking at the presidents when they were sitting down, actually, I've got to go back into the funeral. So Donald Trump comes around and shakes it, and he has to shake Vice President Pence's hand. And he kind of didn't want to shake Vice President's hand. He was so disgusted at him. But I gave props to Vice President Pence's wife for not standing up and shaking. She just looked so disgusted at them. She didn't want to say anything. I don't blame them either. I'd be like, oh, geez, no answer. But so then they sat down, and then President Obama comes out. He sits right next to to Donald Trump and Melania, but guess who wasn't there? Michelle Obama, because she's like, I don't think I want to go to this one. Sitting next to the President of the United States coming with the convicted felon. Oh, geez, I wouldn't want to sit next to that either. But props to Obama, President Obama. He's the president, so I can understand that. Also, then there was George Bush. He came with his wife, and they kind of nudged President Obama a little bit, and he went to the side. But I don't know. There's things about George Bush. I don't know. There's something about him that just George W. Bush. I don't know. There's something about him that just seems off with him. That I know he's a Republican, but also, I don't know. He might be connection with Donald Trump. So I don't know. I don't know all of it. I'm not gonna assume anything, but I don't know because I didn't really hear a lot about George W. Bush in this election, last election. Didn't come out and try to endorse anybody. It's just a lot of skeptical for that matter. Right? I don't know. I guess who comes out after that? Oh, she came out looking great. She just came out standing, walking. She was like this, walking. As that boss woman out there. Hillary Rodham Clinton came out walking. And she came out with President Bill Clinton. They look great together. And here comes George Bush trying to stand up, trying to shake her hand. But guess what Hillary did? Was shaking the people behind him, but didn't shake his hand. She didn't even look at she was like, George W. Bush, I think I'm kind of disgusted at you, but she didn't say it, but I think there was something that she needed to, she disagrees with some things that he did this last election, and maybe he's friends with Trump. So, I don't know. There could be a skeptical because even Hillary was looking, didn't even acknowledge George W. Bush. I'm happy for her because she stands up proud and tall like Hillary Clinton. And then here comes the Vice President of the United States and the First Gentleman. They come out and Kamala comes out looking great, tall, and looking good. So they come in, they sit down, and Kamala like, oh no, sit on the side where Trump is, because she's not saying it, but she's like, you're gonna sit there, and I'll here, like quietly in their head. They're not saying it out loud, but I guess she didn't want to sit there because she didn't want to sit next to Donald Trump. Who wants to sit? Who wants to say hi to Donald Trump in the first place? And you just lost, but still, it's still disgusting. I wouldn't want to say anything either. And then here comes President Biden and Joe Biden. Oh, it looks so great impression. I was just so thankful, like before the election came, that I got to see Joe Biden. She looked beautiful. Oh my God, it was just such a sight to see. And oh my God, the Biden family is beautiful. And congratulations to their new grandchild that came, President Biden and Joe Biden. Congratulations. If you haven't seen, they have a new grandchild that was just born while he was president. So, what a magnificent way to end your presidency. But yeah, so let's get back into this now. We talked, Biden said he was not a big fan of my predecessors and successors. Well, we was never pointedly mean about it, but he was just very encouraging. Looking beyond his time in office, Biden said he doesn't know yet where his presidential library will be, but ruled out his hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania. He expressed his hope that it will end up in Delaware, but didn't rule out the University of Pennsylvania either. So that's cool to hear that he's still trying to figure out what he wants his presidential library at. And I would love to see that one too. I was in Georgia too, and I should have saw President Carter. I didn't know. I did not know. I should have knew that it was Georgia, but I wasn't even there for the right things. But yeah, so Georgia, I wasn't even there to have time to like spend and look around things. I should have, but I don't think it was in the same city either. But and then this last thing, Hawaii. If you're from Hawaii, maybe people now know here in the mainland that loved ones identify 6 firework explosion patients getting treatment in Arizona, and so yeah, they look like beautiful souls. And Hawaii News has learned that at least 14 family members from Hawaii currently staying in Phoenix. We are told they're being put up in 3 hotels, and some of them are preparing for long-term stays. Um, the Arizona Burn Foundation offers emotional and financial support to families whose loved ones are being treated at the burn center. Donations have allowed them to provide food, hotel, and social services to the 14 family members. So yeah, they are here, and I give thoughts and prayers to the firework explosion people that got burned in that situation in Hawaii. But I'm I'm happy that they are here in the mainland and getting the best help. Because yes, Arizona, I would tell you, Arizona has the best medical here out of any state. I believe here the best medical. We have top-notch doctors. They're always on it, and so I am very thankful and grateful to be living here as a Hawaiian. But thoughts and prayers to the families that have been affected by that explosion. And like Hawaii, we like to blow those fireworks, even though we're not supposed to. But we blow those fireworks, and I don't know what happened, but I know there was an explosion and people got burned. So just watch out if you are doing fireworks out there anywhere in the mainland. People do fireworks out here in Arizona, so just watch out and be more careful. But thoughts and prayers to these families from Hawaii. Now they're here in Arizona getting treatment at the burn center. So hopefully they will be well and taken care of. And so yeah, thoughts and prayers to that. And thank you so much for being here on another Real Trash podcast episode with me. And should I talk about my week and how my week has been too? Since we did some of that news already. Let's get into my week. So my week has been a little tricky this week. Um, I'm just trying to deal with my stomach situation, IBS situation. I gotta deal with that. And then, I had my counseling appointments. Oh, jeez. Oh my God. Just sometimes I just feel like some counselors shouldn't be a counselor. And sometimes they look at you crazy. Like, do you not understand what I'm saying to you? Like it's so weird. Like I'm like, how do you even get to be the profession in counseling world? Like I just like uh, I don't know. I'm just sometimes like, what? How did you become this? Or even doctors and oh, geez, some of them just some people might need counselors themselves. Do you agree on that? Or is it just me? Like, I don't know. But like, oh my God, I'm like, wow, that's crazy stuff with counselors and I don't know. Even psychiatrists. Psychiatrists, all of them, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I had my counseling appointments this week. So that's done for this month. Um and yeah, so oh yeah, and so I know the norovirus is out. I think it's the coronavirus. People are diarrhea, puking. I went to Costco because I put my mask on. Be more. You gotta wash your hands for 20 seconds. Please don't put your hands on your face. Wash your hand. Put your mask on. Be very careful who you're around. Um, and yeah, just stay clean and everybody stay healthy because that is going around right now. Um, yeah, take precautions on that. Um, and yeah, so I've been worried about that. I'm just scared about that. My friend was like, "You should go with me to too." So I'm like, "Girl, I ain't gonna go with right now because I am just too worried and scared about this stuff, and I'd rather not get sick because I remember having that a few years ago. Oh no, that was not fun, girl. Girl, it wasn't. But so yeah. Um, and then I have something else coming up next week that I need to do. I need to get my hearing aids fixed. Oh my gosh, girl. I need those fixed. I need them fixed because they need to be fixed, girl. Because I need those fixed because I cannot hear anything out of them right now. So would like to get those fixed, okay? So I need to get that done, but I'm just scared. I don't want to go to the doctors and get them. No, I really don't, because I don't want to think about that stuff. But hopefully we'll be sanitized and ready to go. And then what else? Oh, and one last thing that I actually watched. I don't even know how you can put like videos on here. I don't know if you can, but there was this other video this week, and Joe Reagan, he's like more independent, but he's more conservative. I can see he's a conservative more than independent, but he's more conservative ways. Um, and he's the CEO, I think he's the owner of UFC. It's like fighting. And he interviews a lot of people. He's interviewed Trump. Um, And so he interviewed the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and he brought some stuff up and he was blaming the Biden administration, saying that it's gotten out of control, that the Biden administration was trying to push them to stop them from spreading misinformation and from the vaccinations. Some of the stuff on the vaccination were saying things like, oh, this might cause this kind of effect. And, some conspiracy theorists could be more contagious to that information, and they may spread more lies of. So I think that's why Biden administration wanted that to be clear off and be like, no, this is okay. This shot is okay. It should not be. It shouldn't be bad to take. So I don't know. People are just more worried, and and so I guess now that Meta has decided that we're gonna put Joe Rogan on our board. And now Donald Trump's like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg is great. Um, he seems like he's he's a good person now that he's not uh, that now he's letting see all the information, the conspiracy theorists allowed on the Facebook pages now, and so he's a great person now. And Mark Zuckerberg, now he's a billionaire, what a millionaire, but he must be a conspiracy theorist too, because he got grilled from the Biden administration because of what he did. And so now he's coming out more. And, he's mad, I think, about that. So, Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know. Boom. But I don't think there was any misinformation, honey. I think you just, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking about, but I don't see anything wrong. But so yeah, so I hope you guys had a great time watching this Real Trash Podcast episode today, and thank you for being here on another Real Trash Podcast episode. And this time we're gonna throw this podcast in the trash, and we will come to a new Real Trash Podcast. I'm in the new Real Trash, a new Real Trash Podcast episode next week, but we're gonna throw this one and say goodbye to it and put it in the trash. And this is our first one we're gonna put in the trash like that. Or maybe it's a few, but like first officially, we're gonna finally throw them in the trash. And thank you for watching my YouTube videos. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching these Real Trash Podcast episodes. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching my YouTube reels. And thank you from the bottom of my heart from just watching all of my content. And please go get people to subscribe. And I have to go to the restroom, y'all. But sorry, I know I'm just saying that out loud, but maybe it's TMI, too much information. But girl, I gotta go. But at the end of my videos, I always say, what do I say? Real Trash Podcast followers, a hui ho, and always be yourself. Love y'all. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye. See you later. Bye bye.